gonna be late. Let's go. What's going on, guys? We are back again with another amazing deck profile. We're here with the one, the only, Mr. Josh, who's come top 32. And what was it?
I finished 27th in Swiss.
27th up in Swiss.
Yeah. I lost in top 32, unfortunately, but it'd be what it'd be.
It is what it is. I won't ask you to talk about your rounds like I normally do in these profiles. We'll just jump straight into it. Look at this beautiful prize mat and see what you've got. Let's see the goo.
So I played the pure Snake Eye deck. I think it's slightly better than the Fire King deck purely because like this deck's just much more consistent, plays through hand traps much better, and I wasn't willing to go above 40 cards, so I'm a bit cooked by that. All right, so I think most of this is pretty standard at this point. I really wanted to play just one of this, and then when people were asking me why I was only going to play one, I just tell them that I'm not a coward. We were actually going to play Birch for a while, but I think unfortunately like the second one just comes up. And like when it comes down to like losing games versus having it in your deck, you just have to have it.
Yep.
So that's pretty standard. 2 Flamberge. The pure deck plays 2. I have opened. Luckily, I didn't open double Flamberge at all this tournament. I opened one like all the time. But yeah, it's like you just have to have 2 in this deck. In testing, I lost like 4 games to not having the second one in deck. So I never sided out. This is
mandatory.
Yeah.
Yep.
3 Witch. So I tested 1, I tested 2, I tested 3. You just have to play 3, unfortunately. Like you just have to be able to play every game.
Yep.
Like unfortunately, this format's kind of like just the concession. You just have to like concede to the fact that sometimes you're going to draw multiples. You just have to maximize starters. There's no choice.
That makes sense.
The Jet. So you have to play the Jet for the pure line. Randomly, this card's like really good. I like at 2 points when I drew the Flamberge, I had this in the graveyard, and they think you have nothing, and then you go Jet Effect, pitch Flamberge, float 2, and just kill them.
And just go nuts.
Yeah.
Yep.
So this card's actually really, really good. You side this one out when you go second, though, but yeah. For spells, 3 Bonfire, of course, 3 Wanted.
Max rarity.
You just have to play max starters, and then Original and Temple.
Yep.
This card is like the sole reason why I think this deck's better than Fire King. It is just crazy. You just summon stuff from your opponent's spell trap. It plays through everything. Plays through Cosmic Cyclone. This card's legal text is win games you have no business winning. It's just it's insane.
40 cards in the main.
Yeah, 40 main. 40 main. I could not push it above 40. I just couldn't do it. I tried. This was like 42 up until like an hour before registration.
Yeah, right.
Max starters, you have to.
Yep.
And then this card is cross out. So everyone's playing hand traps. You just sort of have to like concede to the fact that you're going to be hand trapped. So like we want to play through as many hand traps as possible. Even if they don't hand trap you, this is a good card because you're going to be versing a lot of fire decks. So you just like cross out, call Ash. Randomly enough, like I cross outed Fenrir's today. I cross outed really random stuff. I beat one Fire King player by cross-outing his Flamberge with the second Flamberge that was in my deck.
That's unreal.
So like, yeah, the card's like, if you're versing Fire Mirror, the card's insane, and then you just have to have it when you go first. You feel super safe when you draw it. The reason I lost in top 32 is because my opponent going first opened this and Call by the Grave, so, it'd be what
just
it'd be.
wanted them all.
And now the reason the format is the way it is, the hand traps.
Yep,
so we
here we go.
3 Ash, 3 Droll, 3 Nib, 3 Veiler, 1 Mourner, and 3 Imperm.
Oh my gosh. Only 1 Mourner? So I presume that's something you would have cut down
originally, yesterday? Originally it was like, we weren't playing this and we were playing something else, but we sort of just wanted it in the deck because like, this is 16, which is like a good amount when you play 40 cards.
Yeah.
But this is also a one-of in the deck for the cross-out designator,
yes.
So you can cross-out it if you get cross-outed.
It's also an extra Veiler if you need it.
This card's actually insane too, because I found a lot of times I was drawing this as like 6th card, and even in that scenario, it's insane, because like when you verse the Fire King deck, when they push back into you, and summon there for Grunix from the graveyard, you just hit the Grunix on summon, and they can't cure on you, and then when you clear that, it's an additional 27 damage, so...
It's crazy.
Yeah, you kill people really easy with this card, but yeah, it's just like... more effective Ela. Like for a while we weren't playing Droll in the main decks either, but pretty much everybody here is on like Fire King rather than Pure.
You're
like,
kind of forced to play the Droll.
And like the good part about that when you do play Pure and people are playing Fire King is like everybody main decks this card, but it just does nothing to my deck like at all. Alright, so yeah, that's the main deck, 40 cards.
Sweet, nice and clean.
Yeah, that's exactly right. The extra deck is like very, very stock standard. Link Karibo, IP, SP, Dark Heater. These cards are crazy. I darked a Dark Magician in
What?
Yeah.
What?
My opponent in round 2 was playing 52 card branded with like, I assume with the engine for Dragoon in it.
Yeah.
And he like, at one point he goes branded opening, pitch Dark Magician, so I darked it. I thought it'd be funny. Phoenix, Princess. You only have to play one Princess in the pure version. It doesn't come up that often. Like, at several points I had this like unicorn from my extra deck or anything like that, and I still won the game.
Didn't bother you at all.
Yeah, it's like a good card. I think the best play with this card actually is into talents. If you play, the only reason to play 2 is if your opponent happens to play talents. You use an effect, they go talents to take. You like Masquerena your whole board into this and just give them this, and then they're fire locked. my friend did that to somebody at the event. Celine. I actually didn't summon Celine once in the whole event, I think. I don't know. But I think you have to play it. It's just like, there's like a specific line you can do.
That niche scenario for Witch,
Like if you, there's a specific line you can do with Witch, where if you have Flamberge, you can like this revive the Witch, link this and Flamberge for Appaloosa, float 2, and then like make Princess afterwards.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Appaloosa for this. These 2 cards. These cards just read kill you through everything.
Yeah.
Like, it's just so stupid. I had like one game where I had like 4 monsters plus Link Karibo, and this just still read I died. So I just still lost the game. The Formula, the Savage, and the Baron for the Synchros. If you ever resolve like full Synchro board, you just win the game.
Yeah.
Like, there's just no competing that. I did. I resolved full board like 2, maybe 3 times. And then Typhon.
Yep.
I never summoned this.
Yeah.
The theory with this is like if you verse the mirror and they make like so if you like double hand trap them, they're like a fair amount of the time they're going to be able to make Little Knight by just going like Link Karibo into Little Knight, like banish something from your graveyard or banish a 5 from theirs, like to stop Heater. And then when they pass, if you open like all hand traps, you just go normal summon a hand trap and make Typhon, attack the Little Knight, bounce something else, and then you just sit on it.
Yep.
So like I think it's still correct to play, but I just never summoned it. I think this was an access code up to beforehand because like I think 2 times in testing I went like Flamberge Celine to access code to 8300 to OTK, and then the Nibiru you, and then the Flamberge floats, and then after the Nibiru resolves, you just do World Sea game and kill them again.
Yeah,
so,
cool. That makes sense. So would you potentially go back to access code, or would you be sitting comfortably with the...
I think this is still fine. Like, I never actually missed access code in the main event, so like, it is what it is.
Cool.
I think realistically, this card could probably be whatever you wanted. Like, I think one of our teammates played Anima, another one played like, what is it? Underworld Goddess.
Oh yes,
like
yes,
Underworld Goddess is pretty cute. You can like link
Yep.
with your opponent's Flamberge, and then when they try to link like float with it, and you can negate it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
there's applications there. But yeah, I don't know. I felt pretty safe with Typhon.
Cool.
Now the side deck I actually thought was really, really good. I was really happy with this. So 3 Fenrirs.
Okay.
Everybody we played against when I summoned this card quite literally just turned their head at me and got really confused. Because I was putting this card in going first too. It's like, in the mirror, if you put this in going first and you summon it, it not only does it like search another one of itself, so it searches follow-up, but it just hard answers Witch. So if you end on like the Appaloosa board, 9 times out of 10 they can go Witch, and you have to negate it with Appaloosa, and then they just attack the Appaloosa and you lose it.
Yes.
Whereas if you have this on board and they get Witch, you just let the Witch resolve, and in that resolution you Fenrir banish the Witch, and then they have to put another monster on board to resolve their original.
Yes, that makes sense.
Like also when you go second against anything, this card just reads if you have a summon limit, you lose the game. Because like I think I got summon limited 4 times and I won every time.
There you go.
Because yeah, you just play Fenrir control. Like I had one, my T limit player anti-spelled me as well, and I just like I think I had I had one of these for it.
And you were like, that's fine, I don't care. Yeah.
But like I had one mirror match who summon limited me, and I just went summon, attack, pass, and I didn't clear the summon limit, and I forced him to play into my Fenrir under his own summon limit, and he lost the game. So like this card, I'm a big fan. Also, not to mention when you like I said when you play this card, if you verse Kashtira, you can cross out designated their Fenrir.
Yeah.
So I did that like twice.
The biggest brain.
This card's sick.
It's amazing.
And yeah, the 2 Bastilles. These cards are like okay. I wanted a few extra hand traps just for specifically if I verse the pure mirror.
Yep.
because like when they go like Boral Savage to attach Link Creeper, you can banish the Link Creeper with this, and then the Savage doesn't get its negate. Or if they do the standard like World Sea Lion, and they go Flamberge to spell trap IP, you can hit IP with this, and they also don't get it.
Oh, okay.
And, like the cute thing is like this can search Flamberge as well if that comes up.
Yeah.
But they're also like double up as hand traps against Voiceless Voice. And
Yes.
I did verse Tearlament in round 3, so these were like really good.
Why are you here?
Like he anti-spelled me and then put a Havness in graveyard. I hit it with a Drill Swim and just played Drill Swim control, and
Yep.
that was just how it worked. So these cards are okay.
Yep.
I did unfortunately draw this as 6 card against my Pure Mirror though.
Oh.
Extra 2 Millet Chills. So it's just another thing. It's just more hand traps.
Yeah.
So like if you verse like Pure going second, there's at least 20 in your deck.
Yes.
Which is like kind of insane.
Like we're in the format that you need that kind of interaction. So
Yeah, pretty much.
is what it is.
Lullaby of Obedience. This card's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like I think unfortunately I never resolved this. I never drew this against a fire deck. I did, however, versus Kashtira, Lullaby their Fenrir and summon it, and then search my Fenrir.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
So like, the only other time I drew this was I drew 2 against my last round Cash opponent, but he had anti-spell up, so I couldn't activate it.
Yeah.
But this card's like okay. If I'd drawn it against more fire decks, maybe I would have like been more concerned about it. But yeah, there was like words on maining this card, but I think when you come to an Australian YCS, you just have to recognize that most of your decks, like your universe, are going to be rogue.
So many rogue matchups.
Yeah, like out of 10 rounds, like half of my matchups just weren't playing fire.
No.
So it's like, and even one of the fire variants I versed was Rescue Ace Fire. So like, yeah, it is what it is.
You can't predict this stuff. Yeah.
I wasn't willing to like. The discussion was literally like you can main deck it if you want, but you're just taking the fact that each time you draw it, going first, it's a gamble because you don't know what your opponent's on.
Correct.
So I actually played 2 Lightning Storm. It gives you more coverage against Rogue. So like if you happen to verse like a Rogue deck or a stun deck or something weird, then you have like these that you can just like apply pressure to their board when you go second for no reason, like before you play a Snake Eye card. I was actually also putting this in against Fire King variants.
Yes.
Purely because if I spotted in game 1, they were doing the lines where they would either not play Sanctuary at all or sack Sanctuary for a Snake Eye card. You put this in, and when they have Island, and if they
It's
go like
free.
if they go
It's
summon
so
limit,
free.
you hit this, it hits the Island and the summon limit and the IP and spell trap if they did it, and then the Island wipes their board, and you can just like I don't know. If I'd drawn this in top 32, I probably would have won on the spot, but it'd be what it'd be. I never drew this card either, so it is what it is. And there's summon limits.
You have to be that guy.
Yeah,
you have to. You have to.
So there's like a few choices that you could play in this position. It came down to like this anti-spell or deck lockdown. This is just the best of the 3, I think. In testing, I deck locked down the mirror and I died that turn. So
Okay.
it's just very silly. And anti-spell is not nearly good enough, I think, because they can just go normal Ash, and then if you can't interact with it, they win the game.
Awesome.
Whereas this one is just good.
Yeah.
The only variance is like this isn't very good against Kashtira, but like the rest of your side deck with like the Fenrirs and the Lullabies in it are pretty good against
Yeah.
Cash.
You got good coverage there.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right, that's my deck.
Thank you so much, my friend. Do you have any shout outs?
I mean, shout outs to everybody. Shout outs to all the Perth people. Shout outs to all my friends. I love coming to YCS because you just meet everybody from like years back. Big shout outs to Leon because he gave me all of these cards.
Awesome.
But
Cool.
yeah, obviously, check out PX3. All right, we're the goats. We're amazing. Best team in Perth. You know, we are Perth. Perth's amazing. That's
Hell
all
yeah.
I'm saying.
Love to see it, man. Appreciate it.